Good morning, Janice.
Good morning, Anthony.
I love these topics. We're
Yeah.
going to do one. We're going to talk about the 3 steps when a Bitcoin owner dies. Okay.
Okay.
So, what do you do if somebody you know has passed away owning Bitcoin, but you have no idea whatsoever how Bitcoin works? And this is probably the most common scenario. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So how do you recover the Bitcoin so it doesn't just get lost forever? And that's really the biggest concern, because these things are very, at this point, delicately owned. The tools of ownership are still kind of being worked out. So it's very easy to have a catastrophic loss, an accidental loss of all the Bitcoin, especially at this kind of rough transition period.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. We've talked about that before. It's easier to lose it and just have it disappear, right?
Yeah. People think there's a crazy hacker out there who's trying to get their Bitcoin, and that does exist.
Sure,
but you're way more likely to just accidentally lose.
Yeah, to lose it, right? Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to go over some basic steps on how to find the keys for your decedent's, for the person who passed away's Bitcoin. And just one note, I'm going to assume that the Bitcoin is not on an exchange, and that rather it's in some kind of wallet, personally owned or personally custodied wallet. And the reason for that is because if it was on an exchange, it is very similar to a traditional bank or brokerage where you just go there with a death certificate, letters testamentary, as we've talked about, on this estate probate.
A few times. Right?
Yeah. So there is an entity when you have an exchange where you go to collect and submit a claim. But most sort of hardcore Bitcoiners or hodlers, they tend to self-custody. And there's, we won't get into reasons why, but just be aware of that. Okay.
So when you say exchange share, here's a question, because I feel like I'm learning along with the audience every time we do this. So when you say exchange, you're talking about like the app on the phone that they're going through that's controlled by, what is it, like Coinbase and all of those. Those are exchanges. Those are different than you have
exactly
this.
Right.
Okay.
So when you work with when you trade your dollars for Bitcoin on Coinbase, Gemini, Kraken, Binance, there's a whole bunch, and you leave your Bitcoin on there, that means you have an account with that entity.
Yep. Okay.
And again, there's pros and cons to that. There's reasons why Bitcoiners don't love doing that. But again, most of the hardcore guys, even if they initially buy their Bitcoin on Kraken or Gemini, they withdraw their coins onto a personal custodied wallet of some sort.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. So step number 1 is to look for hardware wallets. Now, I'm making this the first and what I think is the easiest step because it's something physical, it's something visual. What you're looking for when you're going through the decedent's things is something that might look a bit like a USB drive. It might look like a smartphone that you've never seen. Like it's not an iPhone, it's not an Android. What is this? There are hardware wallets that have a touch screen like that. Or it might look like a pocket calculator. Anyone who's into Bitcoin knows exactly which devices I'm talking about, but I'm trying to keep it real simple for
which is good, because someone like I've actually never seen one physically, pictures and such, but that's actually helpful.
Sure. And again, the 2 most common ones, the Ledger and Trezor, will look like a USB drive with a little screen on it, and you might think it's just his files or something.
Right.
So if you're not sure what you're looking for or what you're looking at, if you think you might have something, just open a Google browser and do a Google image search for hardware wallet or Bitcoin hardware wallet, and you'll see a whole screen of images, and say, hey, that kind of looks like the one I have in front of me.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you find a hardware wallet, you probably need some sort of PIN code to unlock the device, similar to how we used to have codes to open our phones. Now we have thumbnail or thumbprints and whatever.
Yep.
But these hardware wallets, you generally have to
facial recognition.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, some of the hardware wallets have that, but let's not get into that. Most of them require some sort of PIN to access the device, to unlock that USB drive, as it were. Okay, if you can't figure out the PIN, that's not the end of the world. Don't worry. If you can, awesome. You're like good to go. But if you can't, if you can't guess the PIN that your friend or loved one generally used, at least you know now that the person owned a hardware wallet, and that's a great piece of information to have to keep going forward.
All right.
And what you need to do is then, if you can't figure out that PIN, you can skip down to step 3, which we'll talk about finding the 24 words, which we'll talk about in a moment.
Okay.
Because at least you know those words exist because they had a hardware wallet somewhere. And again, if you have the PINs, congrats. You're now able to unlock the device and use it to access. And I'm just going to kind of explain what you have here. That device is a storage device to hold the keys that can access the Bitcoin.
Okay.
It's not like there's Bitcoin in that USB drive.
No.
That's not really how it works.
Right.
Yeah, so once you have the access to those keys, again, keys within the device, you're able to buy, sell, transfer, do whatever you want with the Bitcoin. And that's actually super important because to know that distinction, because you should also hold on to this thing very securely, because if anyone else gets access to it, they have the unilateral power to buy, sell, or transfer that Bitcoin. Okay? So treat the device and the PIN code very, very securely. Any questions so far, Jens?
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so step 2, check the decedent's phone or computer for software wallets. I think this is kind of a thing now when somebody passes away, where you kind of scroll through their phone to see what apps they have. Oh, he had a Chase app. Maybe he had a Chase account. Oh,
yes.
Things like that. And then if you see Gemini, Kraken, Coinbase, they may have been into crypto. Similarly, check for a software wallet. Okay. What is a software wallet? It's just an app version, an app to store your keys on your phone. It's generally not considered as secure as those hardware devices we talked about, but whatever. Plenty of people use them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So same methodology. Just Google top software wallet iPhone or best software wallet Android, or if you're on a desktop like Mac software wallet, just to get an idea of a list of names of apps you might be looking for, because I know how confusing it could be. All you see is brightly colored squares or icons, and you don't know like if it's a video game or if it's a wallet.
Right.
So you want to get a sort of list of what you're looking for. That's a good way to get started. And I would give you the list now, but you know what? Between now and when this happens, things change. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This is one of those very fluid, evolving concepts right now.
Now, again, very similar. I'm going to essentially repeat what we talked about before. Just like with the hardware wallet, you'll probably have a password protection on the software wallet. If you can't guess or figure it out, at least you know that the person had a software wallet, and you can skip to the next step, trying to find the secret words.
Okay.
And if you do have the password, congrats. You now have access to the Bitcoin to buy, sell, and transfer. But also be aware that anyone who has control over this phone has the power to buy, sell, and transfer.
Same power.
It securely.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, absolutely. So when you say that the password, do any of these, you might not know this, but do any of these exchanges or wallets, I'm sorry.
Yeah, make sure that it's clear.
Let's say you put in a code to try to guess the code. Do you get locked out if you do the wrong one? Do they have any shutdown features? The good ones
actually have an exponentially degrading system where if you get locked out once, you have to wait like 10 seconds to try again. But if you get locked out twice, you have to wait 20 seconds. And it keeps adding up. Otherwise, somebody with a supercomputer could try to brute force it.
Just keep trying.
Yeah,
Got it.
Keep trying, exactly. But I thought that was actually pretty elegant when I heard about that. The time limit.
That's a good one, instead of just having it just like shut down, because you guess wrong once. Yeah. How many times do we guess our password?
Oh, wrong? No. I'm not aware of that, but it does basically, there is a limit.
You have to wait. Okay. Yeah. No, that's good. Okay.
All right. So the final step of the third step of what to do when a Bitcoin owner dies and you have no idea what you're doing, you have no idea how Bitcoin works, is to look for the 12 or 24 word list. So if you found a hardware or software wallet, but you can't figure out the PIN or password to access that device or app or desktop app,
right.
Don't worry, don't freak out. At least you know that you've confirmed that the person owned Bitcoin, or probably if they had that wallet,
right?
And there's still a way, basically.
Yeah.
So remember, the hardware wallet or the app, they're really just wrappers, and a convenient way for us non-tech people to access the Bitcoin keys that are securely stored inside that USB type device or that app on the phone. But they are not the keys in and of themselves.
Right.
Okay?
Right. Yep.
So another sort of backup format of those keys is a list of secret words. I know it sounds like very esoteric, but that's just how it is. And
I already feel like I need a treasure map.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's okay, step 1 and then
So a backup version of that hardware of the keys within that hardware wallet are 12 or 24, these days mostly 24 secret words in a specific order. This is also known as a seed phrase.
Yes.
And if you or anyone else has those words, they can reconstitute the wallet on a new device or on exchange or whatever, and you basically have full control. If you have those 12 or 24 words, you have full control of that Bitcoin. Okay? So treat it securely.
Yes.
So you'll be looking for like a little card or a letter or something that has like, what is he doing? Why did he write milk, cow,
These
butter?
random words.
I don't know. My words were not random. They were all dairy, but I don't know what I was.
Right.
But yeah, if you're looking for these lists in order of 12 or 24 words, and that is your secret password essentially.
Okay.
If you find them, just I feel like you should be intuitive, but don't share them with anyone.
Okay. So don't take a picture and post them on Facebook or anything.
Don't take a picture at all. Apparently, there's like hackers or algorithms that know how to search images and search files. So don't take a picture. Don't email it to yourself. Just keep the paper like an actual physical treasure map as you referenced until you can safely transfer it to a new account.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's really the best practice right there. I think that's it. I hope, Janice, give me some feedback as somebody who's not as into this, or as a hardcore Bitcoiner. Do you feel like you at least have stepping stones? If somebody you knew died and you knew they had Bitcoin, do you at least feel like you have some couple of first steps to tackle?
So I do. I feel like I know that I'm looking for something in different pieces. Like again, I go back to the treasure map because I'm still learning. But I feel like at least if I have something, then I go to the lawyer who's taking care of the state. Hopefully has some Bitcoin and cryptocurrency experience. And I can say, okay, I have everything. Now what? But at least I know what to look for, which is really helpful.
And I just want to caveat, even if you trust your lawyer, don't hand over. Yeah.
No. But at least I can say I have it. I have possession of what I believe is, a thumb drive, a list of names, and all of this stuff. Most likely, me myself, I would just put it in a safe and leave it there until, the time being. But this definitely helps to, what to look for. So
good. I'm glad. I hope it helps some of our. Because I think this scenario is going to be more and more common as we sort of transition to more people getting to know how to use it. But for now, I mean, nobody knows how to use Bitcoin.
No. And I like what you said about Googling even the apps. I wouldn't have thought of that because I know the regular exchanges that are out there now, but you're right. A wallet could just might even look like a video game to throw people off. I don't know, so it's interesting.
Names? I'm trying to think of some names that might be confusing. I think there's Trust Wallet. No, that has wallet in the name. There's, I'm sure there's examples, as you said.
Right. That I would not have known what to look for. So that's actually a good point. Maybe Google apps and see, and then that will help you put together the phone. So very interesting. I like these topics, and I think we're trying something new, right? Some Bitcoin tipping. There should be a link down there.
So I set up a Lightning Network tipping link through Blocknomics. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not trying. It's Lightning, so these are going to be like fractions of cents. Right. But we just want some feedback that you're out there listening, that you want to encourage us to keep going. And heck, if a couple of sats come through that add up to a couple of bucks, maybe we'll invest in conducting a study or just something to put back into the show. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that'd be neat, and watch more things to watch and learn, and
Okay. Hope you guys found this helpful. We're going to keep doing it because I find it interesting. So
I find it interesting because I'm learning along with everyone else. So,
all right. Well, thanks, Janice, as always. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Talk soon next time.
Thanks.
Bye.